I call this meeting of the Northeast Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. The board will now adjourn into executive session pursuant to the following sections of the Texas Open Meetings Act. Texas Government Code Section 551.071, private consultation with the board's attorney. 551.072, discussing purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. 551.074, to discuss personnel or to hear complaints against personnel. And the time is 5:31. The board will now reconvene into open session. The time is 6:37. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome you to this evening's meeting of the Northeast Independent School Board. This is a business meeting of the board held in public. We appreciate your attendance and request your respectful attention. We welcome your comments during the Matters from the Floor section of the agenda. If you signed up to address a specific action agenda item, you will be called at that time. Finally, I would like to remind you that it is the mission of Northeast to challenge and encourage each student to achieve and demonstrate academic excellence, technical skills, and responsible citizenship. Item 5, Invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Massey from Oak Grove.
Madam President, board members, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests, thank you for the opportunity to introduce two of Oak Grove's strongest students. First, with our invocation, we have Hannah Jefferson, and Hannah is joined by her mother, Heather, her brother, Corlin, a student at Data, and her brother, Chris, a student at Garner. And Hannah is one of those wonderful students who is always willing to take on some extra responsibility or leadership opportunities on campus. She is an honor roll student and one of the leaders of our peer mediation team. So, Hannah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Hannah Jefferson. I am a fourth grade student at Oak Grove Elementary. Oak Grove is an amazing school filled with intelligent students and staff, all under the leadership of Mr. Massey. I am here today to give the invocation. May you please bow your head so I can say a prayer. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I ask that you help us to learn from one another. I pray that you bless this meeting and everyone here. Amen.
Amen.
Next, we have Shelby Henderson, who is joined by her mother, Lisa, and her sister, Bailey. Now, Shelby is a former Little Miss Juneteenth, and she also served as a March of Dimes ambassador. Currently at Oak Grove, Shelby is a safety patrol. She's an honor roll student. She's a member of the student council and participates in choir. So, Shelby's going to lead us in the pledges.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a Texas pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Hannah and Shelby, would you please come up to the front? We have some certificates for you and Mr. Massey, and we're going to take a picture. And you both did a wonderful job. The camera's right there. Go stand right there with Mr. Wheat.
The star. There you go. So cute.
Hannah and Shelby, you did a great job. Thank you to your families for being here. And you're welcome to stay, but you're also welcome to leave because I'm sure you have homework and lots of things to do tonight. So, but again, we appreciate you being here, and you did a great job. You represented Oak Grove very well.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good night. Item 6, matters from executive session. A, personnel including but not limited to administrative appointments pursuant to Government Code Section 551.074. 1, possible action regarding routine personnel including but not limited to administrative appointments. Do I have a motion to approve personnel as presented in executive session?
I move that we approve personnel as presented.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item 2, possible action regarding proposed recommendation for termination of Chapter 21, continuing contract employee, no action. Item 3, introductions. Dr. Gottardy.
Thank you, Madam President, board members, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor tonight to introduce a new senior director for our Career and Technical Education Department, Mr. Ben Peterson. Ben? Mr. Peterson joined the Northeast family in 2004. Prior to being named the Senior Director for Career and Technical Education, he was an assistant principal at MacArthur High School. Mr. Peterson received a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies in 2000 from the University of Houston, Victoria. He earned a master's degree in school administration in 2007 from Trinity University. Mr. Peterson has 13 years in education. Congratulations, Ben. Thank you, Madam President. That concludes all of our introductions.
Thank you. Item B, possible action on the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property pursuant to Government Code Section 551.072, no action. Item C, possible action regarding consultation with board's attorney pursuant to Government Code Section 551.071, 1, pending and or possible litigation, no action. Item 7, recognitions. A, 2017 National FFA Agri-Science Fair Champion Food Products and Processing Systems. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. Members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. At this time, I would like to ask Doak Stewart, our director of the Agri-Science Magnet Program, to approach the podium for this recognition.
Well, Madam President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Gottardy, and members of the executive staff, as well as our guests, may I say good evening, or more appropriately, howdy.
Howdy.
I have just a great privilege again to come before the board and share just more accolades for some of our students within the program. And I have a dynamic duo this evening I'd like to introduce you to. First is Miss Josephine Fisher. She is a 4-year Agri-Science Magnet Program student and will be graduating this June as a summa cum laude graduate. She's also served many leadership roles, such as the captain of the cross-country team there at James Madison High School and treasurer of the National Honor Society. Josephine will be attending Tulane University this coming fall, where she'll be studying in their School of Science and Engineering. And then sitting next to her there is Cornelia San Diego. She is also a 4-year member of our Agri-Science Magnet Program, and she too will be graduating as a summa cum laude graduate. Neil was very active in the National Honor Society, the Rotary Interact Club, and the UIL journalism team there at Madison High School as well. Now, Neil is currently awaiting word from Stanford, Dartmouth, and Columbia Universities, where she's going to be studying as a biochemistry student next year in her pursuit to become a surgeon. And what I want to share with you tonight is that they traveled with a delegation of other students from the Agri-Science Magnet Program in October to the National FFA Convention, which is held yearly in Indianapolis, Indiana. And they bested the nation in the National FFA Agri-Science Fair as champions in the National Agri-Science Fair in the Food Products and Processing Systems Division. And I'm going to slow down as I say this piece and try to enunciate as best as I can, because their research title was The Effects of Non-Genetically Modified Food on Reproductive and Mutative Rates of the Drosophila melanogaster, or fruit flies, as some of us might call them. And this was done under the supervision and direction of Mr. Joshua Anderson, also one of our Agri-Science Magnet Program staff. And so at this time, I'd like to ask both Cornelia and Josephine to come forward and be recognized for this awesome achievement.
Congratulations, ladies. Well done.
He's perfect at one time. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations.
Item B, School Board Recognition Month. Dr. Gottardy.
Thank you, Madam President, board members, ladies and gentlemen. It's really my honor and my privilege this evening to announce to you that the School Board Recognition Month is traditionally the month of January. However, due to the canceling of school and the school board meeting last month, we are taking this evening to acknowledge this recognition. Public education is more than just learning math, science, English, and history. It's a platform for students to reach their potential. It inspires hope for a new generation and a successful future. This district exists in part because individuals volunteer their time to make informed decisions about the issues facing public schools. Every January, we celebrate these everyday heroes, these guys right here. The 7 elected school board members who serve our students and our educational system at Northeast Independent School District. School board members volunteer on average 20 hours plus a month and more during football season, graduation, SUMAs, concerts, theater performances, you name it, they're there. They're always volunteering to help run the schools in our community. The school board makes difficult decisions for the betterment of our students. These dedicated volunteers reside in our community. They are our friends, our neighbors, community leaders, parents at your school, and engaged senior citizens. If you come across these dedicated individuals, please take the time to say thank you for advocating on behalf of our collective interest and making the difficult decisions that they do. Most importantly, thank them for being everyday heroes and making our students' success their #1 priority. Very often I get to tell audiences that their #1 priority in this school district, without question, is the idea of making absolutely the best decisions that we can for the most 67,000 students in this district. And these hardworking young men and young women do that every day. And it is a real treat and a real honor to tell you that they're my boss. And it is a real pleasure and honor to work for them, work with them. And it is our salute to you guys tonight for being School Board Recognition Month in January and February.
Oh, aren't we lucky?
And we must have a video to go with it. So why don't we roll this video?
Can't wait.
You know, very quickly, I look to my left and to my right, and I think we have very close to 90 years of experience of helping run the Northeast Independent School District. And to our staff everywhere, to our 67,000 kids and parents and community members, business leaders, we just want to say thank you so much for what you do every day for young people in this district. How about another round of applause? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That presentation was not bad. Usually the pictures are, my face turns red, so that was not bad. But thank you for all that. We appreciate it. All right, next item, 8, presentations. A, State of the NEISD Council PTAs. I'm going to call up Kathy Reed, who's the first vice president. And Council PTA provided our dinner tonight since we didn't meet in January, and it was delicious. So thank you very much. We appreciate everything that you do for us. And now I will let you tell us about Council PTA.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam President, board members, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. I'm here tonight in place of our council president, Jennifer Easley, who is attending her NEISD Child's Sporting event. As part of the Texas PTA's criteria to earn an Outstanding Council PTA Gold Award, a council must attend a school board meeting and present a State of the Council report. So here I am. Our council has been working hard to achieve this distinction and hope that you find this report informative. The NEISD Council of PTAs is a group of dedicated volunteers working to make a difference for all children. We regularly reflect this on our PTA mission to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. Our goal is that everything we do is in support of this mission. As a council PTA, our purpose is to act as a primary channel of communication within the PTA network. Our council PTA provides information, inspiration, support, guidance, and instruction to its member PTAs. Council PTA strives to strengthen local PTAs, develop their leadership potential, promote PTA membership, and advance Texas PTA's goals, programs, and initiatives. As an association, we meet 5 times each school year. During these meetings, we share timely PTA information and focus on promoting Texas PTA's Back the Future message. We recognize the district's top volunteers. We share the State of the District message. We present the Virgil T. Blossom scholarships to aspiring educators, and we recognize our PTAs for their membership recruiting efforts. Our board provides training to local PTA boards, including multiple Texas PTA leader orientations, as well as officer and committee chair trainings. We want our local PTAs to have the tools that they need to be successful and to run a PTA with transparency and without conflict. The NEISD Council of PTAs provides mentoring and support to each of our local PTAs as they are paired with both a council mentor and a partner in PTA, which is another one of our NEISD PTAs. Currently, our district has 19,711 PTA members, which is more members than we had at this time last year, and we are aiming for at least 276 more members to once again reach our highest number of members in 5 years. Our local PTAs are doing a great job sharing the PTA message and promoting PTA membership. Currently, all 67 campuses have an active PTA, meaning they have recruited 25 or more members and submitted their names to Texas PTA. 60 of our PTAs are in good standing with Texas PTA, and we are actively working with the remaining 7 to achieve good standing as well, mostly by updating their governing documents before the end of this month. All 67 PTAs have also paid their council membership dues. The NEISD Council of PTAs has earned the Golden Apple Membership Award as Dr. Gottardy, his direct reports, and our school board trustees are all current members of an NEISD PTA. So thank you for your support. We have many local business leaders and a city council member who have joined through our NEISD Council of PTA's cluster membership forum, and we are still aiming for a mayor to join an NEISD PTA as well. During the school year, our major council events have included the Back to the Future Family Engagement Health and Wellness event at the NEISD Sports Park, the continuous operation of the NEISD Council of PTA's Clothes Closet, and the Founders Day at Lee High School. We have a few upcoming events that we hope will make a difference to our district. These include tomorrow night's Texas House of Representatives District 121 Candidates Forum at MacArthur High School, the February 27th International Student Exchange Breakfast, and the April 5th through 8th Used Book Sale, a literacy, community service, and fundraising event. We appreciate your support to help us achieve our mission. Social media is one of our most effective communication tools, so you can like the NEISD Council of PTA's Facebook page or visit our website at necouncilpta.com. So thank you for your time. I would like to recognize the other NEISD Council of PTA's board members and mentors in attendance. First, we have our secretary, Jennifer Beeson. We have our Back to the Future chair, Joseph Trevino.
Can I interrupt, and as she calls your name, come forward, because we'll take a picture in a minute. You didn't want to be the first one, did you?
We have our hospitality chair and the person responsible for your dinner this evening, Alana Harris.
Thank you, Alana. It was delicious.
Our training chair, Liana Benavides. Our website chair, Shira Trevino. And our mentor, Belle Watson.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy, for that report, and thank you all for being here, and you're welcome to leave as well. Item B, Citizens Bond Advisory Committee, Annual Report to the Board of Trustees for the 2015 Bond Program. Mr. Clary.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests, it is with pleasure that I welcome Mr. Fred Morrison to the podium. Fred is the chair of the Citizens Bond Advisory Committee and will be making tonight's presentation.
We've gone high-tech this time.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to Mr. Sullivan, of course. We have the green light, Chief? All right, we're ready. Good evening, President Grona, board members, Dr. Gottardy, members of executive staff, and guests. I'm Fred Morrison, Chairman of the Citizen Bond Advisory Committee, and I'm here to present our 14th annual report to the board on the status of the district's bond programs. Time does fly. The C.P.A was first appointed by the Board of Trustees and Superintendent of Schools in 2003 to monitor the 2003 bond program. When Northeast residents passed the 2007, 2011, and 2015 bond programs, the C.P.A.'s overall mission grew to include those bond programs. Our mission remains the same since we first began. That is to monitor scope, cost, and timely delivery of each construction project within the bond program, and to help ensure that the overall bond program is accomplished as was approved by the taxpayers within the district. The success of the C.P.A. depends on its membership. We have a core group of committed and enthusiastic members to help oversee the district's bond programs. At this time, I would like to publicly acknowledge and recognize those C.P.A. members in attendance who for their continuing contributions to the district. CBAC members, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. With respect to the 2011 bond program, the CBAC's focus this past year has been on monitoring the successful completion of all remaining projects included in that $399 million bond package. I'm pleased to report that all projects within the 2011 bond program are now complete. Additionally, through excellent planning and design development, as well as outstanding program and project management, the 2011 bond program finished with a surplus of $1,085,000. This fund balance was carried forward to the 2015 bond program's Global Contingency Fund. Now let's shift to the status of the $499.95 million 2015 bond program. The CBAC is extremely pleased with the great progress achieved regarding execution of the 2015 bond program as we conclude year 2 of a 5-year bond program implementation plan. As a result of the excellent in-house planning, along with continued design development practices, which focus on maintaining strict adherence to project scope and cost, coupled with superb program and project management, the 2015 bond program remains in excellent financial position. Not only has the original bond Global Contingency Fund balance of $15 million remained completely intact, but the construction management and engineering department has attained an in-house construction contingency of $6 million to date, for a grand total of $21 million in contingency funds on hand. As of the end of December 2017, the district has issued construction contracts representing 70% of the overall bond program, or $235 million, along with executed design development contracts representing 97% of the overall bond program. The district is on track to have all design contracts issued and project designs completed by the end of 2018, and all construction contracts completed within the bond program's 5-year implementation plan. Currently, there are 20 2015 bond projects under construction across the district. During the remainder of 2018, the district's bidding schedule includes 29 2015 bond projects with a total construction value of approximately $100 million. Now let's highlight the status of major projects as included in the 2015 bond program. This list of projects is not all-inclusive, but rather representative of major work which is either ongoing or completed to date. The Eisenhower Middle School cafeteria expansion, essentially doubling in size, along with renovation of the old athletic locker rooms into a new campus library, is complete. The Comalander Stadium bleacher replacement project includes the east side stands replacement, which was completed in August of 2017, while the west side stands replacement is underway and will be completed by August 2018. The Comalander Stadium maintenance building replacement project is complete. The Comalander Stadium locker room replacement project is underway, with construction of both field houses scheduled for completion by August 2018. The Northeast Sports Park outdoor pool complex upgrades are complete. The Northeast Sports Park new baseball stadium construction is underway, with construction completion planned for mid-May 2018. The District Central Operations Warehouse project is planned for completion in mid-February 2018, which will allow for the consolidation of the Technology Services Department and relocation of the district print shop to the newly renovated space at the Central Warehouse, which will in turn free up Perrin Central Building 3 for construction of the new district CTE Center Construction Trades Program. The district CTE Center Diesel Mechanic Shop at Perrin Central Building 4 is complete. Conversion of the old Lee High School Science Building and Home Economics Facility into new CTE and STEM facilities for the campus is underway, with construction completion planned for April 2018. Secure entry vestibules have been completed in 11 of 20 campuses, with construction at the remaining 9 campuses scheduled for this summer, with completion by August 2018. The Regency Place Elementary School Classroom Addition, facility renovations, and secure entry vestibule project is underway, with scheduled construction completion in August of 2019. The Bradley Middle School Fine Arts Addition, cafeteria expansion, and secure entry vestibule project is underway, with scheduled construction completion in June 2019. The Garner Middle School Campus Replacement Phase 4 project, which includes a new kitchen and cafeteria, full fine arts program area, and CTE food service lab is underway, with scheduled construction completion in August of 2019. The Jackson Middle School Campus Replacement Phase 2 project, which includes a new classroom addition and various field upgrades, is underway, with scheduled construction completion for the entire project in August of 2019. The new football field and track construction will be completed by June 2018 to support the start of the 2018 school year. The Churchill High School Campus Replacement Phase 6 additions and renovations project, which includes a new campus CTE center, science labs, orchestra facility, and renovations/expansion to the existing campus band facility, is underway, with scheduled construction completion in December of 2019. The Josh Davis Natatorium facility upgrades are complete, which included new LED lighting over the pool area, installation of a dehumidification system to cool the pool area, and upgrades to the locker room areas. This concludes the 2015 Bond Program Construction Project Highlights presentation. Finally, the Technology and Library Services Program execution is going extremely well, with approximately 39% of the overall program funding and contracts executed to date, or $28.3 million. Some program highlights include installation of the classroom voice amplification systems is complete district-wide. Upgrades to the district-wide wireless network and implementation of Bring Your Own Device to School program is scheduled for completion later this month. Evaluation and field testing of replacement instructional technology systems for teachers is underway, with full deployment at district campuses in the fall of 2018. To sum things up, the CBAC is extremely pleased with the overall progress and execution of the construction, technology, and library services programs and the financial posture of the 2015 bond program. On behalf of the entire committee, I wish to thank Garrett Sullivan, the entire construction management and engineering department staff, and the community relations staff for the extra effort they provide to support our regular CBAC meetings. Thank you for your time this evening. This concludes the annual CBAC report for the calendar year 2017.
Did you want to say something? Okay. Did anybody have any questions for Mr. Morrison? If not, I think Dr. Gottardy would like to bring you back up for a picture with the CBAC members that are here, and I want to thank you all for being here this evening. We appreciate it. Thank you for serving on the committee.
Ron? Gary?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, sir.
You two move up front, kind of some teams together, and you two come up front here, so you four. Perfect, there we go. There we go. Come around, thank you. There we go. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. Take one more. 1, 2, and perfect.
Thank you for being here.
She's been on it ever since it
Yeah.
started.
That's good.
Thank you again, and we appreciate you serving on that committee. Item C, CPS Energy Demand Response and Energy Efficiency Incentives 2017. Mr. Clary.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests, at this time, I would like to ask Mr. Paul Robbie, our district energy manager, to come to the podium to make this presentation.
Madam President, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Gottardy, members of executive staff, and guests. CPS Energy's Demand Response Program is a voluntary program that pays incentives to commercial and industrial customers for reducing electric load at peak times during the summer months. In 2017, the district curtailed an average of 544 kilowatts and received an incentive payment of $37,542. CPS Energy and their partner ClearResult, through their commercial energy efficiency program, offers incentives for lighting, HVAC, and refrigeration energy efficiency improvements. In 2017, the district received incentive payments totaling $337,986 for 16 energy efficiency projects. I want to take this opportunity to recognize 3 departments for participating in these programs. The School Nutrition Services Department received an incentive payment of $11,302 for a project to retrofit the refrigeration system at their warehouse with high-efficiency motors and fans. The Facility Maintenance Department received an incentive payment of $10,384 for 3 LED lighting projects, and also received the load curtailment incentive payment of $37,542 for the demand response program. The Construction Management and Engineering Department received an incentive payment of $15,782 for high-efficiency chillers at 2 campuses in the 2015 Bond Central Plant Chiller Replacement Program. They also received $300,552 for LED lighting retrofit projects at 10 campuses in the 2015 Bond Campus Lighting Efficiency Upgrades Program. In addition to these incentive payments, these projects are projected to save over 2 million kilowatt hours of energy per year. This represents an ongoing savings in utility costs of over $200,000 per year. Here tonight is Mr. Joe Jones, Key Account Manager with CPS Energy, present a check in the amount of $375,528 representing these incentive payments to the district.
Thank you, Paul. It's really an honor to be here to present this big check to the Northeast Independent School District. And you've done a great job in being a corporate citizen in our community, because it's really helps us keep the lights on, keeps the heat flowing, and also the air conditioning flowing during these critical periods in San Antonio. I have with me Drew Sutter and Jennifer Henriquez. Could you please stand? They're with a company called Clear Result, and Clear Result has administered our rebate program for CPS Energy, so they've taken an instrumental part in working with Paul and his team, and I'd like to thank them for a great job. Bottom line, I'd like to thank Mr. Clary, because his organization has done a splendid job to make this happen. And congratulations to you and your team. I have one favor, Mr. Clary, if you can pay this forward into 2018. Thank you.
We'd like to take a picture with that nice check, if you don't mind, because that's very exciting. It's our honor to have you here. Well, I was not watching where I was walking. That's very cool. Thank you again for being here and bringing us that nice check. Item D, 2018-2019 enrollment projections. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. At this time, I'd like to ask Dorian Galindo to give this presentation on the 2018-19 enrollment projections.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. The district is dealing with the perfect storm. We know we are landlocked and that we have maturing neighborhoods, which has contributed to a decline in our overall student enrollment. Another influence of our enrollment decline is the increase in school choice and charter school attendance. What I'm about to present to you is a historical overview of our student enrollment for our district, our projection model, and what we have found in our investigation of charter schools and the anticipated losses that we expect in student enrollment for the next school year. This slide provides an overview of the last 10 years up until this school year, overlaying our enrollment with general funding. In the past, specifically between 2009 and 2014 school years, we saw a huge decline in general funding. However, our enrollment was still increasing. Now, we are not only seeing a decline in our state funding, but also a decline in overall student enrollment. When I first started in the district at the tail end of 2011, 2012, our enrollment projections were still capturing growth trends, and we were still anticipating an increase in student enrollment. However, after 2013 to 2014, we have actually seen a downward trend. So we project using a cohort survival model. We calculate enrollment projections at the district level as well as at the campus level for each grade using a survival rate. And basically a survival rate is based on an average of a 3-year historical enrollment trend, particularly used as a cohort. So as the cohort progresses into the next grade level, we calculate a survival rate. So anything that you see a 1 is stable enrollment, below 1 is a loss, and over 1 means growth. And basically, if you notice, our 2nd to 6th grades, our survival rates have been below a 1, which means the forecasted losses that we are expecting. One of the limitations of our model, as well as with any model, is basically if there's a rapid growth or rapid decline, the model has difficulty capturing these trends. Our cohort model works best when there's stability in enrollment. So because we over-projected last year, this year our model is compensating for that. Our team did a thorough investigation on what may be influencing the decline in enrollment, and from there we have made additional adjustments to anticipate the losses that we will see next year. You saw a similar chart at the beginning of the presentation of our district's overall enrollment. And since 2014 to 2015, we've actually seen that downward trend, and we continue to see that at the district level. Last year, we anticipated a 500 student loss in enrollment, but instead we experienced a loss of 1,491 students. Next year, we expect to lose an additional 1,287 students. When we compare historical enrollment at the secondary level, we do see differences across the years. For high school, which is highlighted in yellow, we overprojected by 169 students and are slated to lose about 193 students next year. At the middle school level, which you see pictured in gray, we were off by 23 students last year, and we anticipate losing 224 students next year. Although we don't see the greatest losses at the secondary level, we are actually seeing a downward trend. At elementary level has experienced the heaviest losses, and as you can see, we started seeing that at the beginning of the 2014-2015, as pictured here in this chart. When comparing enrollment for last year to this year, we have actually had a total loss of 1,093 elementary school students. Next year, we anticipate an additional loss of 869 elementary school students. Since we recognize that elementary has seen the greatest loss in enrollment, we can actually break it down by grade level to compare our enrollment this year and what we project to lose during the 18-19 school year in those grades. So as you can see, our losses are forecasted to happen between our 2nd to 5th grade levels. So we know that over the last 5 years, charter schools in Bexar County have proliferated. Initially, we thought their goal was 35,000 seats to fill by 2016-2017. We now know that this is not true anymore. There is not a ceiling like we initially thought. It's no coincidence that we've seen a huge increase in enrollment in Bexar County charter schools and also seen an overall decline in our own student enrollment. The charter school influence is not just happening here in Bexar County, it's actually at the national level as well. The current administration has actually encouraged school choice, so parents have a choice of where their kids are attending schools. And I will tell you, the public school landscape is changing. Choose to Succeed is a nonprofit organization that was created in 2011. Their bottom line basically is to attract the nation's best charter schools. Their main mission is basically to build a high-performing charter sector here in San Antonio, Texas. They have partnered, which I call the Big Four. These are the BASIS, Great Hearts, IDA, and KIP in San Antonio. Their goal is to serve 80,000 students by the year 2026. And according to their website, they currently serve about 18,000 students. So we won't know what their enrollment for this year looks like until the Texas Academic Performance Report comes out in late December this year. So our department has done extensive investigation of the charter school influence on our enrollment projections. So based on the Big Four, we calculated an enrollment rate using their TAPR enrollment numbers and RTA transfer report on the number of students that live within our boundary that attend one of these Big Four charter school districts in San Antonio. We basically use this information to make adjustments to our overall enrollment projections for the 18-19 school year. I do want to let you know that there are other charter school districts that we are losing students to, but these are the Big Four that are impacting us the most. Our model does not capture basically added grade levels. It does capture the current charter school effects for the existing campuses. And so next year, hopefully, when we get the October snapshot, we'll have another data point in time that our model can actually capture the rapid decreases in enrollment. That concludes our presentation. If there's any questions, we will be here to answer them.
Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a nice, thank you. It's a nice report, and this could be a question for anybody in the staff is we know that there's declining enrollment, whether it's charter schools or not. What is our next most important step that we need to take as a district when we have declining enrollment, and how we're going to get over the funding issues and the other things that go along with that, if there's anyone who's willing to talk to that.
Mr. Weed, I'll take a stab at it. Obviously, that's why we're here tonight, is that we want to bring to you at our March board meeting the financial implications from the loss of enrollment. I thought Dorian did a great job at the very beginning of talking about a perfect storm. Not only are we losing state revenue to the Northeast Independent School District for a number of years, but with this decline of enrollment, we're also losing additional monies because of that enrollment loss. So our plan was to bring you these projections tonight. In March, we will bring back to you where we think that our 18-19 budget stands, and consequently the next 3 to 5 years. I think many of you have heard me speak to audiences all over the school district that this is by far our #1 challenge in the school district over the last 4 or 5 years. This is not new to the staff. This is not new to us. It is perplexing, and I have to tell you that as many of us have investigated this phenomenon, I can tell you that firsthand that I have had numerous conversations with parents all over the school district who, you know, they have chosen to take their kids out of our schools for a myriad of reasons. There is not one reason. Anytime you talk to somebody, you get a different explanation. So it is perplexing to us. We continue to investigate. Staff is exploring options for the 18-19 school year and 19-20 school year in an attempt to probably not bring back all those students, but maybe to, instead of have the complete decline, maybe to plateau off. That is our goal, is to try and stop the gradual decline of enrollment. So it is our challenge, and it's something that we talk about, we discuss at great lengths all the time. Anything that I'm missing that y'all want to add to what I said?
One thing that I would like to add is this school district does an excellent job educating our students. And so we are talking about how do we communicate that possibly more effectively. We address our high achieving students. We have a number of programs in place that help our students excel. And in the conversation, we are continuing to talk about that and the best ways to communicate so that our parents know.
You know, the financial picture, you'll see it next month. But the frustrating part about this picture in the way of finances is that it's not in one concentrated area. You know, if you have 3 or 4 kids leave this classroom, 1 or 2 kids leave that classroom, all over 4,000 classrooms throughout the school district, it is very difficult for us to reduce our financial obligation, because just because you lose 1 or 2 kids in this class, you cannot move that teacher somewhere else. You still have to have that classroom. So in some respects, it'd be great if all 1,000 students were coming from one concentrated area of the district, but they're really not. They are leaving to go to charter schools, to go to private schools, homeschool, online school, all over the district. And it's a challenge for us, and it will continue to be a challenge for the school district.
One thing that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I know one of your slides showed that our biggest loss in enrollment or decline in enrollment is amongst the elementary kids. Is there anything that shows us that, you know, at some point do they come back, or do they stay in charter and then elect to go to private school? Has there been enough time to measure any of that data?
Right, so we are currently monitoring that. Typically, they do come back because there's a lot of electives and different types of programs that students can participate that they can't as they move through the higher grade levels at charter schools. But we do know that charter schools know that, and so they are, you know, BASIS is currently developing a big campus to service not just elementary school students, but also the higher grade levels. So even though we know that our projection sees a greater loss in elementary, we know it's coming where they're going to actually start trying to target those higher grade levels eventually. We should be prepared.
That was going to be my question, because I thought they came back for high school, and you saw that in the 9th grade, but then 10, 11, 12 dropped off. So what's happening in 10, 11, 12? I mean, why are they coming in 9 and then we're losing them?
Right. So the other thing we've noticed too is our cohorts are getting smaller as well. That might be, you know, decision for family planning or things like that. So we noticed that some of our cohorts are actually smaller than previous cohorts that have moved on to either higher grade levels or graduated. So for an example, like our 5th grade current cohort is a lot smaller than the 5th grade cohort of this year. So as those students progress to the higher grade levels, our cohorts start getting smaller and smaller. So there might be, that's why this is kind of the perfect storm, because we see the effect of charter school, but we also see the effect of maybe the economy, families choosing not to have as many children, maturing neighborhoods, things like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the things that was interesting to me listening to this report is today there was a report on the lowest SAT scores in our area. Not one of our schools was on it. However, there was a KIPP school, and I think it was even called University Prep, that had extremely low SAT scores. And I think there was even a basis on it. I don't know. So my frustration is that our parents are not getting the message about the good job that we're doing. And I know we don't have the advertising budget that these people do. I know they have millions that they're pouring into advertising and their story. So, and that's where it becomes incumbent upon us to be our own advocates. We have so many wonderful stories that we see them, y'all do incredible things every day, all day. And it's so, I hate seeing this because our children are the ones that are going to lose out. And we hear constantly how some of our children are coming back to us, and our teachers are just facing more difficulties trying to get them caught back up and everything else with the things that they've lost by being in schools that aren't of the top quality that ours are. So it's just frustrating. I'm not sure how to address the issue other than, can we have a few million for advertising, please? I mean, I don't know what to do.
I think that it's a much bigger issue than Northeast Independent School District.
Absolutely.
I think that the person sitting in that audience out there that has no kids in school will not ever have kids in school. Or maybe you've had kids and they've graduated and they've moved on. This is a statewide dilemma facing the state of Texas. And if we as citizens are not careful, and I've been on record, I've said this, I'm a broken record, I've said this 25 times probably in the last couple months. If we're not careful, we're going to have public schools in this state for haves and public schools for have-nots. That's the way this trend is moving with the charter school emphasis in this state. So it's going to be way outside my career, probably way outside most of our careers, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, if this doesn't change, I think you can see where this is moving towards. And I think as citizens, you know, if you're not happy about where this is going, then we have to get involved. You have to get involved. So Sandy, that kind of dovetails what you were talking about. It's not a presentation that we wanted to bring to you tonight. It's something that we worked on. I know Dorian and Terry and their teams worked on quite a long time, but it's something that we felt like not only do you need to know about, but so does the community need to know about as we get ready to go into the budget process.
Oh, yeah, we have
Thank you
to.
very much.
You're
Dorian,
welcome.
you
Thank
did a
you.
great job.
Have a
Yes,
good
you
night.
did. Thank you, Dorian.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, item 9, board business. A, possible action regarding changing March and June 2018 board meeting dates due to conflicts. Dr. Gottardy.
Thank you, Madam President, board members, ladies and gentlemen. Real quickly, we would like to change the dates of 2 of our board meetings that are coming up. One of the regular board meeting dates was scheduled for spring break. I don't think you guys want to meet during spring break, so we want to move that date in March, as well as we have a June regular board meeting scheduled the night of the Reagan High School graduation. So we need to move both of those board meeting nights to a different night during those months.
Okay. Do I have a motion to, it's recommended that we approve March 26th and June 4th as the dates for the regular board meeting in March and June. Do I have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. Do I have a
Second.
second? Thank you, Mr. White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item 10, new business for possible board action. A, board policy. 1, possible action regarding board policy EHBB local first reading. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. This item addresses a situation for our GT students. Currently, they are retested at the 3rd grade in order to qualify for continued GT. We are asking to eliminate that 3rd grade test and let them maintain their GT status throughout elementary school. Leanne Hernandez is here if you have any questions, but we are recommending that you approve the first reading as
Okay.
attached.
Does anybody have any questions about this? Is this kind of a standard for other districts that once you've been accepted into it, you're through it through 5th grade?
I'm not sure. Ms. Hernandez, can you answer Ms. Grona's question, please?
Yes, that's standard. Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions? No. Okay. If not, do I have a motion to approve the first reading of attached board policy EHBB local as submitted?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wheat. In a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Hasso. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Thank you.
Leanne, thank you.
Item 2, possible action regarding update 109 first reading. Ms. King.
Thank you, Madam President, board members, Dr.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about Update 109? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the first reading of attached local policies included in Update 109
So
with the
moved.
exception of CO local?
Sorry, so moved.
Thank you, Ms. Perkins. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item 3, possible action regarding board policy CO local, first reading. Mr. Clary.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests, with changes in the legislative session, we're now required to have an item in the CO local that authorizes the superintendent to develop regulations for donating food, as well as we are now required to have board approval to set a grace period for delinquent charges for students. So those two items have been added to CO local, and this is first reading.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about first reading? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the first reading of attached CO local policy as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Jaso.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item B, resolutions. 1, possible action regarding Rodeo Day. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. At this time, I'd like to ask Doak Stewart, our Director for the Agri-Science Magnet Program, to once again approach the podium.
Good evening again, Madam President, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Gottardy, and the executive staff, and our guests. The San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo is being held currently February 8th through the 25th, 2018. The San Antonio Livestock Exposition has educational commitments that now exceed $186 million, with $11.5 million committed in 2017. And these are in forms of scholarships, grants, endowments, auctions, cash scrambles, show premiums, and as such paid to the youth. To date, San Antonio Livestock Exposition has awarded $667,000 in scholarships to graduating seniors of the James Madison FFA. SAIL has also donated equipment and provided co-curricular activities, including career development events, school tours, and of course the world's largest livestock show to the students of the Northeast Independent School District. Due to the strong partnership and goodwill between Northeast Independent School District and the San Antonio Livestock Exposition, the administrative staff recommends that the Board of Trustees approve the resolution proclaiming February 16, 2018 as Rodeo Day for the Northeast ISD schools.
Does anybody have any questions or comments about that? Mr. White's ready to so move it. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Jaso. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Item 2, possible action regarding Career and Technical Education Month. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. I'd like to ask Ben Peterson, Senior Director, our new Senior Director for Career and Technical Education, to address this item.
Madam President, Board, Dr. Gottardy, Executive Staff, good evening. February 1st through 28th, 2018 has been designated Career and Technical Education Month by the National Association for Career and Technical Education. Career and Technical Education prepares students for a wide range of careers, from automotive technicians to engineers, culinary chefs to nursing, veterinarians to electricians, and many other fields. These careers may require varying levels of education, from high school to 2- and 4-year college degrees and/or career-specific certifications and licensures. Career and technical education students are prepared to be part of a well-educated workforce. Through cooperative efforts between CTE and business and industry, students seek lifelong skills and are being prepared for career fields to stimulate growth in our economy. We recommend that the Board of Trustees approve a resolution recognizing the month of February 1st through 28th, 2018 as Career and Technical Education Month. Included in your packet is the resolution. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Does anyone have any comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the resolution recognizing the month of February 1st to 28, 2018 as Career and Technical Education Month?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Wheat.
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. Item 3, possible action regarding National School Counseling Week. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. Now, since we did not have our January board meeting, Counseling Week was last week, but because of the important work that our counselors do, we wanted to continue with this item. So Natalie Herholzer, our Director for Guidance Services, will address this item.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, board members, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. The week of February 5th through the 9th was designated by the American School Counselor Association as National School Counselor Week. This week highlights the tremendous impact that our school counselors have on our students. The counselors work diligently each day to meet the social and emotional needs of each student so that each student can reach their academic potential. We would like to thank the counselors for their attendance this evening, and we have prepared a short video to highlight the work of our counselors.
This song is for those who inspire us today, who always lend a helping hand to help show us the way. This song is for those who see their students through the tough times in their lives. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who heard the silent cries, who stepped in to wipe the tears from the children's eyes. For those who gave us a safe place to grow, a place for us to call our home. Forever we will know that you have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. This song is for those who taught us right from wrong, who taught us much more than their craft to help our minds grow strong. This song is for those who guide us through and through, so that we can make a life. For that we say thank you. You have made a difference. You have shaped our minds. You have changed the world, one child at a time. You have always been there in everything you do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. As I look back on my life and to the path within my reach, I hope I can change the life of those that I teach. I can make a difference. All I do is try to see a different world through the children's eyes. And I will always be there in everything I do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you. And I will always be there in everything I do. I hope that you're as proud of me as I am proud of you.
Well done.
And as a token of our appreciation, Guidance Services has given you a bear in your little bags that we give to all of our foster care children and all of our general ed homebound children as reassurance to these students that our district really cares about them. So that's in your little bag. And it really does make a difference. Even our high school boys, Kyra, when she goes out to the meetings, always gives them to them, and it makes a big difference for those children. So thank you.
Thank you. I was going to ask. Are there counselors that are here? Would y'all please stand? Thank you. Thank you for what you do. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution proclaiming the week of February 5th through 9th, 2018 as National School Counseling Week? So moved. Thank you, Mrs. Hughey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Item 4, possible action regarding Texas Public Schools Week. Ms. Chancellor.
Madam President, board members, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. Since 1954, school districts and communities across Texas have celebrated the success of public education during Texas Public Schools Week. Traditionally celebrated the first week of March, the event is intended to encourage community involvement in schools and to recognize the contributions as well as the achievements of public education. So, since Northeast Independent School District is committed to creating, maintaining, and improving the educational opportunities for every single child, it's recommended the NEISD Board of Trustees approve the resolution, please proclaiming February 26th through March 2nd, 2018 as Texas Public Schools Week, as well as the month of March as Texas Public Schools Month.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the resolution proclaiming February 26th to March 2nd, 2018 as Texas Public Schools Week and the month of March as Texas Public Schools Month?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Jaso. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Item 5, possible action regarding wage payments during school closure. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. At this time, I'd ask Mr. Joel Trevino, our Executive Director for Human Resources, to address this item.
Howdy.
Howdy. You know that works for the maroon that I wear all the time too, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Madam President, board members, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests. Policy DEA local states that if the board chooses to pay employees during an emergency closure for which the workdays are not scheduled to be made up at a later date, then that authorization shall be by resolution or other board action and shall reflect the purpose served by that expenditure. The inclement weather makeup date that has been designated as February 19th, 2018. This day is already a scheduled workday for all certified and the majority of the classified personnel. Therefore, the district is requesting approval of the Board of Trustees to provide wage payments for all employees for the January 16th, 2018 inclement weather day. For this, in order to be approved, we recommend that this resolution regarding the wage payments during emergency school closures for the 17-18 school year be approved. In the resolution itself, we have put in up to 2 days just in case we have another inclement weather day, so we will not have to come back to you. If we should have in the catastrophic event, we have a third day, we would have to come back, but chances are that we would not.
Okay.
Chances are.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Esterline, did you sign up to speak to this?
So, good evening, Madam President, members of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Gottardy, members of executive staff and guests. I'm Patsy Esterline at 6800 Park 10 Boulevard, 78213. I'm president of the Northeast American Federation of Teachers, and we commend the superintendent and executive staff for this proposal. It will build morale, and the teachers and hourly school employees really, really, really will appreciate the wage payment. So Northeast AFT urges the board to please approve this proposal. And what insightfulness to go ahead and do it for 2 days in case that comes up. So thank you so much for your great insight, and thank you. Hopefully you'll approve it.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments?
I have a question.
Okay.
If we didn't approve this, and would that mean that each employee would have to be docked a day of employment, a day's wage?
Most likely.
I'm sorry?
Most likely, we would have to, because the January 16th day was a day that was closed, all for all intended purposes, like 99.99% of the employees in the district did not work, that we could not pay teachers without your approval. So we actually have to have your approval in order to do that.
Yeah, it just appeared that that would be a real difficult pay period type of situation where you have to cut everybody's check one day.
Or, Mr.
Deduct 1 day of everybody's pay.
Or they could take a day of leave if they had
Or you could.
days.
But it's still, so it appeared that the best thing to do is pass a resolution.
Yes, sir.
Do I have a motion to approve the resolution of the board regarding wage payments during emergency school closures for the 2017-2018 school year?
So moved.
Yes, Ms. Perkins. Thank you. Do I have a second? Yes, Ms. Hughey. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you so much. Item C, Instruction and Campus Administration. 1, possible action regarding naming Lee ISA Outdoor Classroom. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. I'd like to ask Mr. Magadance, our principal for ISA, to address this item.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, and executive staff and guests. Tonight, I would like to present for your consideration the request to name the current Lee ISA Outdoor Classroom for ISA teacher Bradley D. Hart. You may remember Mr. D. Hart was tragically lost to the Lee and ISA community in a car accident 1 year ago this month. Mr. D. Hart was a beloved member of the Lee ISA community for 15 years. He served as a mentor, teacher, and friend to countless students and colleagues during his time in our community. He was a constant presence in the hallway. Mr. D. Hart was always quick with a smile. He really knew and understood his students, and one of the ways he showed that was helping them identify their passion by asking his students questions, what do you burn for? More than a year ago, Mr. D. Hart participated with his colleagues at ISA in a design thinking process that focused on creating the ideal outdoor learning environment at Lee ISA in the outdoor classroom. He approached this project with creativity, with vigor, and always with students as the primary focus. I know that Mr. D. Hart would have been a frequent user of this outdoor space with his students, and I believe that this would be an excellent way to honor his impact of the teachers and students at the Lee ISA campus. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your consideration.
Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the naming of the Lee ISA Outdoor Classroom as the Bradley D. Hart Outdoor Classroom as presented? Thank you, Mrs. Hughey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Magadance. Item 2, possible action regarding 2018-2019 proposed calendars for Castle Hills Elementary and Academy of Creative Education. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. Earlier this school year, the board approved the traditional calendar. Now we need to present the Castle Hills year-round school calendar. So Colleen Borman, our Executive Director, Learning Support Services.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight we're seeking approval for the proposed Castle Hills and Academy of creative education calendar as submitted by their staff. They are in compliance with HB 26 with the minutes bill and any Texas law. We're seeking approval for the calendars.
Does anybody have any questions about them? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the 2018-2019 proposed calendars for Castle Hills Elementary and Academy of Creative Education as submitted by their respective staffs?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins, and I'll give the second to Mr. White. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Borman. Item 3, possible action regarding 2017-2018 proposed innovative course. Dr. Newman.
Thank you, President Grona. We are asking that the board approve the listed innovative course. It has been approved by either the State Board of Education or the Commissioner of Education, and at this time, we request your approval. Mr. Gerard Cortez, our Executive Director for Special Education Services, is available if you have any questions.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about this proposed innovative course? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the innovative courses as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Jaso. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the motion carries. Item D, operations. 1, possible action regarding 2015 bond program, Northeast Agri-Science Phase 2 Facility Improvements Project, Ag, Engineering, Fabrication Shop, and Meat Processing Lab. Bid authorization approval. Mr. Clary.
Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Gottardy, executive staff, and guests, Mr. Sullivan is at the podium to make this presentation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is our only bond presentation tonight, unless something gets pulled from consent. All right, tonight we're going to discuss the Northeast Agri-Science Phase 2 project. This is the agenda we're going to follow. I'd like to recognize the architects that are here and present for the project. Mr. James Davis with Garza Bomberger, principal partner, and Gabriela Rodriguez, who's the project architect. Thank you all for being here. This is the rest of the design team engineers that are supporting GBA in designing this project. They were also the architect of record for the 2007 bond initial agri-science project that was built at the campus to replace a series of metal buildings and sheds that had been put up over a long duration of time. This is a photograph excuse me, of the agri-science facility, which is at the west end of the Madison High School campus. The largest magnet program in the district with over 500 students. The 2015 bond program authorized a Phase 2 addition to this facility, which constructs an ag engineering and fabrication shop and a meat processing lab. And the total program area for this is 25,487 square feet. And we've been spending the last year plus in the design development stages, and we come to you tonight for permission to bid out the project. Now, the project is going to be located just south of the fish ponds in the general area of the red box, which is a piece of green grass undeveloped property within the Agri-Science Center. This gives you a notional layout of the building and the infrastructure that will allow access to it. The building has the two main components. The ag engineering is in the yellow and the meat processing is in the tan. Here's an enlarged view of that facility. The ag engineering area is an unair conditioned space where you have the large classroom shop, but the classrooms and office areas are air conditioned. There's also a paint booth. And then the meat processing lab is not unlike what you would find if you went to Costco or Sam's into their area where they keep their food products that are at a very low temperature. You go in there and it's a very cool space. That's exactly how the entire can area will be, because the students will be handling live meat and processing it for sale. So they actually have to get certified by the FDA to be able to conduct this operation. So the GBA folks have worked very hard with folks that provide these kind of specialized refrigeration equipment to make sure that our space is well designed to be able to meet the criteria for food processing and sale. So this is a pretty sophisticated operation. These are some renderings of what that building's going to look like. So it has the same architecture as what we have at the main facilities. That's going to be a nice addition to the Agri-Science Center.
Wow.
We're currently forecasting that we're about $250,000 over budget, which is a little over 3%. Our project budget for construction was set at $7,650,000, but the architect and my estimate is we're closer to $7.9 million. So we need to advise you of that fact as we request for permission to bid out the project. I'd like to point out that that overage represents $10 a square foot difference from what our original estimates were that we put together back in the preparation for passing the 2015 bond program some 2 years ago. So we had estimated $300 a square foot for the project, but right now we think the cost is closer to $310. Now, how does that lay out for the rest of the bond program? Here I've got some other projects that have been out, that we bid out over the last quarter, and you can see we have a low of $279 for the NEISD new field houses at Coleman Stadium, and a high of $351 for the Walker Pool, which is a very specialized project. And the average of all these projects is $306 a square foot. So the $310 that we're estimating is right in line, in our opinion, with what we see as the current going rate for construction costs in the area. Our timeline for this project, pending your approval this evening, is to go out to bid later this month, receive bids, and bring them back to you at the April board meeting, and then start construction in May of this year, concluding construction at the end of the summer in 2019, which is a 16-month construction schedule. So how does this fit into our overall financial posture? As you heard Mr. Morrison brief during the C.P.A. presentation, currently we had bid out over $235 million of our bond program, 70%. And this is a running tally of those projects. The far right-hand column, green means the projects were under budget, orange means the projects were over budget. So right now, we've banked a little under $6 million in construction contingency, not accounting for the superintendent and school board's $15 million global contingency. Looking at the projects that are yet to bid out, we have 29 of them this year. The Agri-Science project is shown there at the center of the screen. They were to be over budget about $250,000. And then these are the rest of the projects in the bond program. And if you look at the roll-up of all the bond program, what we've already bid out plus what I anticipate is going to be some savings in the rest of the projects to bid out puts us at $21 million. This already includes the $250,000 I'm requesting tonight as an addition to the Madison Agri-Science project. Still leaves us with a very healthy contingency of $21 million. And really, we only have about $100 million left to go. So we've gone through the first $235 million and banked 6 plus the 15, and we've got $100 million left to go. So really, we have a 20% contingency for what's left in our bond program. Very healthy. So our recommendation this evening is to approve the project to go out to bid based on the construction documents or the presentation we made this evening, to increase the budget by $250,000 to the revised construction budget of $7.9 million. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does anyone have any questions of Mr. Sullivan?
Looks awesome.
I'm sorry?
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the release of bid documents for the 2015 bond Northeast Agri-Science Phase 2 Facility Improvements, Ag Engineering Fabrication Shop and Meat Processing Lab project using the request for competitive sealed proposal bid delivery method, and authorize the construction management and engineering department's solicitation of contractor bids for this project.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Trevino. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Hasso. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
Thank you, Mrs. Grona.
It was nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. Before you go on into the consent agenda, there are some folks here tonight that are
I thought I recognized
here
some
for
of
the
your people.
construction portion of the consent. I'd like to recognize them if I could.
I would love for you to.
All right. So when I call out your name, if you just stand and to be recognized. And I'd like to offer this comment. As good as we may manage the bond program, we cannot be successful without the architects, engineers, and the contractors to design and to build our projects. And we have a great group of design professionals and contractors that are part of our team. So some of the projects on tonight's agenda, we have Jackson Middle School SEMA at Risk Bid Award. That's led by Pfluger Architects. Robin Popo is the architect. And representing Skansky USA Builders is Gary Pace, who is also in charge of the pre-construction services. And we're going to hold our applause to the end. All right, for the Reagan project, SEMA Risk bid authorization, we have Alamo Architects with Jerry Lammers, who's the principal partner, and Lindsay Opelt, who is the interior designer. And then the contractor, Guido Brothers Construction. With us tonight, we have Tom Guido and Jackson Nahom, who's their chief estimator. I'd also like to mention that Tom's company, Guido, is also the SEMA Risk manager for the Lee High School New Fine Arts Center, which is getting bid authorization this evening, and he's also the SEMA Risk contractor for the Kruger Middle School project, which is being has a bid award tonight. All right, we also have for Northern Hills, we have the architect from Parson Lambers, Chris Lammers, and Fernando Garcia, who are the architects for that project. That'll be recommended for bid award this evening in budget. Thank you very much. And the Johnson High School project, we have James Davis for the New Fine Arts Center and Gabrielle Rodriguez, who were recognized for the for the Agri-Science project. I think I've got everybody covered. Thank you very much for being here.
Yes, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. All right, item E, consent, and I'm going to be talking for a long time, so y'all just nod off. Here we go. Item 1, business services. A, order of election for May 5th, 2018 general election. B, budget amendment number 4. C, donations. D, 50,000 purchases. Item 2, operations. A, 2015 bond elementary school walking tracks bid package 1, project bid authorization ratification. Item B, 2015 bond elementary school walking tracks bid package 2, project bid authorization ratification. Item C, 2015 bond elementary school walking tracks bid package 3, project bid authorization. Item D, 2015 bond elementary school walking tracks bid package 4, project bid authorization. Item E, 2015 bond district facility operations MEP upgrades bid package 1C, project bid authorization approval. F, 2015 bond program Lee High School New Fine Arts Center and campus renovations construction manager at risk project bid authorization ratification. G, 2015 bond Jackson Middle School Phase 2 campus replacement bid package 2, construction manager at risk project bid award ratification. H, district-wide indefinite delivery quantity roofing repairs and roof-related work contract M&O program bid authorization approval. I, easements for drainage, streets, utilities, and various service agreements, 2015 bond Jackson Middle School project. J, ratification of professional services contracts, construction contracts, and related contract amendments supporting the 2015 bond design and construction requirements. K, 2018 annual construction prevailing wage rates approval for Northeast ISD construction programs. L, 2015 bond program Reagan High School Fine Arts and JROTC facility additions and renovations project bid authorization approval. M, 2015 bond program Johnson High School Fine Arts addition new second band hall project bid authorization approval. N, 2015 bond program district secure entry vestibule Bid Package 2 Additions and Renovations Project, 8 campuses, bid authorization approval. O, 2015 bond, Northeast ISD Transportation Central Bus Terminal Facility Upgrades, project schematic design approval. P, 2015 bond, Northern Hills Elementary School Athletic Facility Addition and Renovations Project bid award approval. Q, professional service contracts, construction contracts, and related contract amendments supporting the 2015 bond design and construction requirements. R, minutes from November and December 2017. 3, end of consent. Do I have a board member wishing to pull an item from consent? Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve consent as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mrs. Perkins. Do I
I'll
have
second.
Thank you, Mr. Hasso. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries. Item 11, reports. A, financial statements for November and December, review of expenditures. That's been provided for you. B, second quarter investment report. That's been provided for you. C, awarded bid report. That's been provided for you. Item 12, matters from the floor. The trustees welcome comments from members of the public during this time of the meeting. Generally, board members do not respond to public comments during the meeting, although members may request further information or a future agenda item on a matter raised during public comment. As explained fully in the board's written procedures for this time, the matters from the floor portion is a limited public forum. Accordingly, speakers may present on a topic related to district business for up to 3 minutes, but are not permitted to make 1, personal complaints about an individual staff or board member that should be raised using the district's grievance policies, 2, a personnel action, 3, a student disciplinary matter, 4, a complaint about a particular student, 5, or pending litigation. Any person who persists in speaking on these topics after being directed not to do so will lose the remainder of their time to speak and may lose their privilege of addressing the board at future meetings. We also welcome written comments at any time, either through email at board@neisd.net or by mail, care of the Superintendent's Office at 8961 Tesoro Drive, 6th floor, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. Ms. Hughey.
Selena Valdez. She's gone, isn't she? I don't see her. Okay. Nancy Tamburo Trevino.
So, Madam President, Dr. Gottardy, and the respected Board of Trustees, executive staff, and guests, my name is Nancy Tamburo Trevino, and I'm the proud parent of 2 NEISD children.
Will you please list your address for the record?
Yes, 1922 Preakness Lane.
Thank you so much.
I believe in our public education system, as I am the proud product of a public education. I was the first in my family to obtain a college degree and found myself very prepared thanks to the educational system I was in. And therefore, I believe in having my children as well in the public school system. But I come before you this evening to raise my concern with the lack of standardization with our magnet program admissions process. My 10-year-old fifth grader just completed the process of applying to the 3 middle school magnet programs in the district. And so far, the outcome was he got accepted into KSAT, initially was on the waitlist at Data, and now has a confirmed place. And then he's still on the waitlist at STEM, and he's number 174. I understand just from what I've been looking at that the Office of Research and Information Technologies establishes numbers for available seats for each school, grade level based on projected enrollments, classroom capacities, district, state mandated staffing ratios, growth rate. And then in just reading it through the Texas Education Code in Chapter 25 on the admissions, transfer, and attendance, it didn't specifically reference magnet schools enrollment eligibility. It pertains to public schools, of which magnet schools are a part of that, but yet school choice was not an option for those programs. And then when I also looked into the House Bill 5, which offered the endorsement for STEM, I couldn't see where there were any specific requirements for acceptance into the program. And so I didn't know if that meant that each campus was to provide similar education meeting STEM criteria, or just as like the magnet STEM program would. If there is a growing demand for specialized technology-based programs, how might NEISD address the issue? And also, if these schools are part of the public school system, how might the eligibility be different? I would ask if you might review how this process could be better standardized, because from what I just had looked at, just from my own brief experience, was that the 3 middle school programs in the district 2 are based on lottery and 1 was based on performance. And then looking at the larger level with high school level, so there seemed to be 5 that was based on the lottery system, 1 of them based on letters of recommendation, teacher's recommendation, transcripts, and then another one was based on performance, which also even included a personal interview, performance, attendance records, and discipline. Maybe our need is greater than what we offer. I know if my son had his choice, he definitely would choose the STEM magnet program, but that isn't an option for him. And students like my son do have a dedicated interest, whereas a lottery system does not consider any of his past performance, citizenship, or attendance. So I thank you for your consideration of my talking points and look forward to hearing more about increasing the capacity of our magnet school enrollments.
Thank you.
Sorry, time waste.
I don't see him. Okay. Item 13, discussion and possible action regarding board members' requests for items to be placed on a future agenda and/or requests for reports from the administration. Does anyone have anything? Oh,
Yeah, I would like to get just some information on our magnet program's admittance based on the comments tonight. So I would like to make a motion for a request of a report. Let me see how we need to phrase that to make that.
on the
So
admissions
is-
process.
On the admissions process for magnet schools? Would that cover it?
I
Okay.
mean, she's trying to figure out how to word that.
Okay.
thing.
I think you want information on how the enrollment process goes at each one of our magnet programs.
Okay. I just-
Okay.
All right.
I'll second
All right,
it.
so I'll make that motion and second by,
And Mr. Hasso seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else have anything? All right, item 14, adjournment, and the time is 8:25. Thank you all.